Hi friends, this is Terry Squires with today's Nashville. This is Faith. I sat down with the McCrary sisters, and did you know they sang with Bob Dylan? You won't want to miss their episode. In a world that is divided, God is calling you to make a difference. The McCrary sisters, daughters of the late Reverend Samuel McCrary, a founding member of the legendary gospel quartet, the Fairfield Four, Anne, Regina, Elfrida, and Deborah grew up in Nashville surrounded by music, artists, faith, and singing at their father's church. And they have been singing ever since with legend artists like Bob Dylan, Elvis, Isaac Hayes, Carrie Underwood, Stevie Wonder, the Winans, and many more. But their heartbreak hit the sisters in 2022 when Deborah died of a stroke. This is their story. This is today's Nashville. This is Faith. Regina, Frida, Anne, what a pleasure and honor to sit down with you, to share your story, to your faith, your music. Welcome to today's Nashville.
Good to be here.
Let's start from the beginning. Your dad, well known here.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about him.
You know, since I was born, the only thing I knew for sure is that my father could sing.
Now, are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest. And I knew he could sing. I mean, that's what surrounded us in our home. They would come and they would rehearse. And then when I was 2 years old, I started traveling with him.
And he was with the Fairfield?
He was with the Fairfield Four. And I started traveling with him. One particular time, my mom was not gonna let me go, and I screamed and cried and screamed and cried, and she went and threw clothes in a suitcase and threw it at Daddy and said, take her. And that was the beginning for me. And I didn't even know I could sing. There were other women around that traveled with my father in another group. They were called the Davis sisters. And I guess one of them heard me singing, and she taught me a song. And she told me, go out on the stage when they were singing and tell your daddy you want to sing.
How old were you?
2.
2.
And so...
Do you remember that, or?
Bits and pieces, just bits and pieces. You know, that's all I remember. I do remember going out and pulling his pants leg. And when he looked down, I said, I want to shame. And so he gave me the mic. Everybody was laughing, you know. He gave me the mic, and I started singing the song that I was taught. And people started throwing money on the stage. So he didn't leave home without me after that.
Now, he's a pastor. Was he?
He was a pastor.
Okay. You had a church?
Yeah, St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church. It was over on 6th Avenue North. When I was born, that's where it was.
Now, were you second, or?
No, Deborah.
Okay, we're going to talk about Deborah.
Deborah was after. It's Anne, Deborah, me, and Frida.
Frida is the baby.
Yeah. So it was like I got to see some of the things. We used to go sit in the corner. He'd tell us, I said, we want to listen to y'all rehearse. And he would be like, go sit in the corner and be quiet. So we would go sit in the corner and listen to the Fairfield Four rehearse. And who was it at that time? Was it Freeman? I don't remember who the bass singer was, but to hear him hit those notes, oh my God, them baritone bass notes and them singing, there was no instruments, but everything was on key, on point, and it used to just mess with me. I'd be like, how did they do that?
And how old were you?
I was what, 5?
Probably.
About 3, 4, 5, somewhere off in there. And when the Fairfield 4 rehearsal was over with, we would get up and mimic what they did, from patting the legs and everything.
Well, Frida, were you involved at this point? No?
Just a little.
Just a little?
I just remember church. Remember church.
So when did you all decide that, this is what I want to do? Or did you all go separate ways for a while, school and things like that?
It was a little of both things. We each went our separate way, and we sang in the choir at church. So that was really our first time singing together, but it was a lot of us. So we sang in the choir at church, and that's when we first started.
And then
everybody knew we could sing.
Yeah, but we branched off and did a group called CBS, which was Cousin Brothers and Sisters. And so we traveled a little bit with that. We used to do summer lights. You remember summer lights? Mm-hmm. We used to sing summer lights, different festivals around the city, and made Daddy proud. He was able to witness that group, mm-hmm. but not the McCrary sisters.
So, and you've worked with so many different artists. Before we get into that, tell me about your faith. I know you were raised in church, your dad was reverend. When was it in your life that you said, yes, I'm going to follow Jesus?
When you're raised in a home and your dad is a pastor, you accept Jesus because just in your thoughts, Okay, they say Jesus, I'm Jesus, and you love Jesus, but you don't know him. You don't know him. Little kids, we don't know. We just follow our parents and follow what they tell us to do and when they tell us to go and come. And that's really when I was a teenager before I really felt and accepted the Lord for myself.
And for me, I was baptized, and basically I've been baptized twice. And the first time I got baptized, I did it because I watched my other brothers and sisters. I'm the 7th child out of 8. And I watched my other brothers and sisters go into the water and be baptized. And I like that song they sung, "Wade in the Water." So it was like, okay. So I did it because they did it. But then when I went back in the water and was truly baptized, it was because I had built my relationship with Christ. I knew him. Not my mama's Jesus, not my daddy's Jesus, but mine. Yeah, the one
so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
And I was in my early 20s when I accepted the Lord, and just been running ever since. My husband and I have a ministry, Oh Happy Day Christian Outreach Ministry. So
here in Nashville?
Here in Nashville. So he does a lot of broadcasts. We used to have a building, but we don't have a building now. It got sold. So we still minister.
So you were in your early, do you remember that moment where it's just like?
I remember that moment. I will never forget that moment. I was in tears and I struck out in tongues. And at that time, the church we were at, they wasn't really familiar with that, speaking in tongues. And so I kind of kept that to myself for a long time. But yes, I do remember. And nothing in this world will separate me from the love of God.
And you know what? I love the fact that you guys focus on the love of God. Mm-hmm. You have a new CD or music album coming out. Love is the only key.
Yeah.
Only key. And I love how you're bringing people together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you have a special message about that, and we're going to talk about it when we come back.
Okay.
Love is the only key. Will you sing a little bit about it?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. Love is the only key that opens every door for more unity.
That's enough, girl. Yeah.
I love it. Tell me about that song.
My son-in-law and I were talking, and I had come up with the idea of a song, and I wanted him to help me with it. And when he heard it, he said, it sounds just like a song that he and other folk had written. And so we just started working on that.
And you wrote it with your son.
Yeah.
Your whole passion and your whole ministry is bringing people together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the plan.
That's the way it's got to be. Like I said, my son-in-law works at Lakewood in Texas. And the first time they moved there, and the first time I went to Lakewood. And when I stood there in that big stadium and I looked around, I thought, this is what heaven's gonna look like. Because there were all nationalities and all colors of people there. And they were loving on each other and worshiping God together. And I stood there in awe, really, because that's the first time I had gone anywhere and saw a multitude of mixed congregation. And it made my heart feel good. And you know, that's
I like to be able to say that we kind of grew up in a family where it was like that. You know, it's like we have 4 brothers, and 3 of our brothers were married to white women. So some of our nieces and nephews are biracial. My 2 grandchildren are biracial. And it's kind of like we have the coalition family. You come to our house, and when it come down to family coming together, you're going to see a little bit of everybody up in there, because our parents never saw and made a big issue with color and people. It was always about love and God and caring and giving and sharing. And that's how we grew up. And that's what our music is about.
Every single
Love is the
song.
only key. That's it. I mean, that's, if I can't sing a song about God and love and forgiveness, and then I need to go somewhere and sit down.
Now, you all started this project a couple years ago
Yeah.
with your sister, Deborah.
Yes.
And that was a time, I read, that was a very sad time. Tell me about Deborah.
Ooh, that was our baby. She was a little bit Jesus, take the wheel. I mean, Deborah, she was something to everybody. She used to think she was my mom.
After you, right?
She was after me.
She used to think she was my mom. She would comb my hair and get me ready for school and try to protect me and from everybody. But Deborah, she was the one that could sing anything above me. I sing soprano, so she would sing soprano. And what did she call herself? A alto?
Contralto.
Okay. And she could sing the bottom. Like we would do a song by the Fairfield Four, and
Dig a little deeper.
she would,
Carry that bottom.
So we haven't sung that song yet since she's been deceased, because nobody can do it.
We can't do it.
we can't sing the bottom like she can. But Deborah, she was a nurse, and she was the one that we would go to. You had to use correct grammar
With her.
She was
Yeah.
like, "That's not right. That's not how you pronounce that. You shouldn't say that," or whatever. She told my husband one time, "Don't ever tell anybody that again." It was all the way wrong. So Deborah, she was special.
Deborah was special.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah. She was Deborah. And she did not change for anybody. I don't care who was around or where we were, she was Deborah.
And she loved the Lord.
And there was one time we got her to go be singing a movie, and she was in the hospital, and all of a sudden while in the hospital, we got a phone call, she may not make it through the night. I called up the producer that sent us there. We had just got there, hadn't been there 2-3 hours.
No, she died of a stroke, right?
Yeah. And I called the producer and I was like, hey, look, we got to go home. We told him why, and he put us on a flight and sent us right back home. But one of the last things Deborah said to us was, don't stop singing. Keep going.
Tell me about the time you four decided, hey, let's go out, start the McCrary sisters.
This one right here, and Deborah was we had to kind of put them in a headlock and tell them to please come on, let's do this. Deborah was a nurse and she wasn't willing to give up her nursing thing. And then the first time we finally talked her into coming to go with us, she was like, okay. And she started traveling.
And when did you really start touring and traveling? And
was it 2010?
2010, our first CD, Our Journey. And so we started just going here and there locally in Nashville, Station Inn, City Winery. They were really good to us. Station Inn, 30 Lindsley. Yeah. We did a lot of that. Then after that, maybe a booking agency came along and we started touring. Then after that, we were with the Fairfield 4, touring with the Fairfield 4, Paul Thorne, different people, just sharing the stage with them. Then after that came another CD. And did Buddy Miller do that one?
Yeah,
Buddy Miller produced that one. And then after that, so we have like 6 CDs out. So we have a Christmas CD as well.
When did you know for sure that this is my career, this is where I'm going, this is my
After
passion?
Our Journey for me. Our Journey for me. Because everybody was like, where's your CD?
Yeah.
Where y'all see? Because we were traveling with different people and they were like, do y'all have a CD? So.
We were like, no.
Yeah, that was the reason why we did Our Journey.
And we just looked at each other and said,
okay, let's do this.
Let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it.
And Deborah wants you to continue.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, when we did, you remember in the very beginning when we were Station Inn and we called Deborah, she wasn't singing with us then. We called her to the stage and asked her to come and sing. And when she was like this, and when she left off the stage, she said, don't you never call me up on that stage again.
And she's been on a stage.
She's been on.
And you've been on stages with many, many people. Yeah. Bob Dylan, we're going to talk about him. Yeah. And when we come back, your cookbook and the Opry.
Yes.
You know, you have a new album coming out, a cookbook, a documentary.
Yes. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, you have a lot going on. Let's talk about the cookbook.
The cookbook, we have, this is
Second.
McCrary Sisters Cooking with Love Part 2. We already have a McCrary Sisters Cooking with Love, which is, you can get it, download it, get it on Amazon. But what we did was, all of this was inspired by Mom. Mamie McCrary, better known as Madea. We would sit there and listen, and she'd be in the kitchen cooking food and doing her thing, and we'd be in there and we'd smell her food and we'd be like, y'all smell it? And they'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, y'all. And then all of a sudden we'd be over there in the corner and we go, beans, pinto beans, good old pinto beans. Candy yams and turnip greens, good old pinto beans. And my mama be over there talking about sing baby. and it just made her keep cooking. But we took in our first cookbook, almost every recipe is hers. The way she would bring us in the kitchen and say, now you take a tinge of that and a dab of that and mix that. And we all learned how to cook by her doing that. And so that was our way of giving honor back to our mom by doing this cookbook.
When's it coming out?
Cooking with Love, McCrary Sisters Cooking with Love Part 2 is coming out in October.
October.
Yeah, right in time for Thanksgiving and Christmas, so everybody can get good and fat and have fun.
Tell me what it was like to work with Bob Dylan.
Well, I was 19 going on 20, and I got a job. He called and was looking for a singer, and my friend was singing with him, and she called me up, and I went out on the road with him for 6 years. But while out there, and then the McCrary sisters got together, he came to Nashville. No, the first time we did it was in Cincinnati, Ohio. We drove to Cincinnati, and I told him, I said, we want to come up on stage because we recorded on our record Blowing in the Wind. And we told him, we want to come up on stage and sing Blowing in the Wind with you. And he called us up on that stage, and we sung Blowing in the Wind with him. And then he came to Nashville, and we did it again there. We were gonna do it when he came to Franklin not too long ago, but he didn't put Blowing in the Wind on the show. But yeah, I've been knowing Bob Dylan for over 42 years.
And so many other artists. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the documentary that's coming out.
I mean, it's what?
It's like our life story,
Yeah.
our journey.
Yeah.
What we've been through, the music, people we've been singing with. Basically, that's the start of it.
Who's who.
Yeah,
Music artists.
Because we've been with a little bit of everyone.
Yeah. We were talking about our dad, Fairfield 4, the journey of being little kids, watching the Fairfield 4 and that, and going into our own little thing and living our life, good or bad or crazy, and then coming back together and being out here singing and doing what we do. And then all of a sudden, it's like we started recording records and everybody heard us and they were like, who are they? Can I get them to sing with me? So people like Sheryl Crow, Chris Stapleton, you name it.
You worked with
Carrie
Carrie
Underwood and Kelly Clarkson and all these people started asking us to come and sing with them. Charlie Pride, all of these people.
Was there ever a time when you thought, this isn't what we need to be doing?
I believe that when you put yourself in God's hand and ask Him to lead and guide you, that He might lead and guide you into things and you're like, why am I here? But you always have to remember, if you've asked Him to lead you and you believe, then wherever He takes you, He's got you. Sometimes I think we bring God into so many different situations and with different artists, when we talk, our language is God, So I think.
Frida, tell them what you said yesterday when you were talking to that lady. And
I don't know what I
she
said, but I'll
we
tell
don't
you now.
Compromise.
Yeah, we don't, but we may be the only church other people see, because we've been asked, why do y'all go there? Why do you do this? Because of course, at City Winery or different places, they sell liquor or some. But I've said to many people that I know, you go to the liquor doesn't come to you. But people, we may be the only church that people see, and we've been in situations where after we sing, which is so important, that they would say, can you pray for us? Mm-hmm. I was going to commit suicide. Mm-hmm. We were in Texas, and this white gentleman came up and beat us off the ramp before we can get down. He was prejudiced. But because of the songs and what we were singing about the Word of God in our songs, whichever song penetrated his heart, we don't know. But he repented right then and there, and then said, there's some more people. So we know singing is the anointing that flows, that will touch your heart and touch the next person's heart. But we don't compromise, and we go places churches don't ever go.
Somebody's got to go. They've got to hear.
But we get sometimes like, why do y'all go there? What do you do there? Whatever. But you know, God didn't go where they already had it. He went to the places where they didn't know. Mm-hmm. So That's why he taught. He taught.
It's kind of like
went to them.
He went to them.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, when in the word where you see Jesus go and sit in the house with all these, what they call tax collectors, prostitutes, and everybody else, and the ones that were holier than thou looked and said, you cannot be the Son of God and you're going to hang out with these people. Well, you know, it's about, listen, if you are spiritually sick, if you need some love, if you have not ever been introduced to God, God will send you to the highways and the byways and the hedges. He will send you anywhere and everywhere because he trusts that who you are and who you say you are and what it is he has put inside of you to do, you're going to do exactly that. Why are you going to do it? Because we love the Lord. He's the only key. He is everything and all things to us. And we don't really have a choice anymore. We decided a long time ago to follow Jesus. And that's what we're doing.
It's our foundation.
That's our foundation.
It's our foundation.
Powerful. Thank you so much. What an honor and a blessing to share your story. You have to come back.
We'd love to.
Thank you for having us.
My friend, are you struggling with where God is leading you? Like Frida, Anna, Regina said, follow him, take his hand, he will guide you to truth. This is today's Nashville. This is faith.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.